show fish. That's a show fish.
That's a nice fish.
Guys, I'm out here with my good buddy Tim. Tim is guiding us on a lake that it's a lunker hunt. We're on a lunker hunt. We're gonna get another, we've got a big one in the net. We've seen other big ones. We're doing some different things in the North Woods. It's not your typical kind of fishing. Tim fishes, you fish coastal, intercoastal waters. Fishing differently, big open expanses. Just put a nice muskie in the net. Give it up, Tim.
Yeah. Thanks, Timmy.
Yeah. We just put a nice one in the net, guys. Nice big North Woods fish. Red October, we're doing a lot of different things, fishing weird water, different water. If you do things differently, you can put a nice one in the net. You know, sometimes you gotta mix things up as far as locations, as far as where you're fishing and how you're fishing. You know, it's not always about throwing a pounder into a weed ball that you can't move. Give me I'm like, really dude, I'm doing it and I'm like,
he's got 20 pounds of weight on it, weed on it too. JJ, what's he doing?
Folks, we got ourselves a problem on board here. Steve just landed himself a 15-pounder. Only problem is it's the wrong species.
Wrong species. Do that again. Take two. You know, sometimes when you're out on a lake, conditions are going to change, and you've got to be versatile in your presentations. You saw in the video earlier, we're out here and it was beating. It was beating waves and with some tough boat control issues. Dead flat calm now. Mix things up. It might be time to go to that big top water. Keep the hot bait on. We've been doing well on rubber, and this is the joy of fishing with a bunch of people in the boat or even just a buddy. Have one guy throwing the bait that's hot and then start experimenting. Guys, pounders. What a great bait, but what a great big old bait. A lot of people are intimidated by just the sheer size of these. They've earned a reputation as backbreakers in the musky world. You know, it's a tough bait to cast and a tough bait to retrieve. I'll show you a quick trick on how to alleviate some of that casting. Obviously, you can see it's flexing the rod. You don't want to heave this bait. Engage here, pivot, and flip with this other hand. And you can get a ton of distance out of a pounder without torquing your shoulder. It's really about pivoting, right? If you let your wrist be sort of loose on the foregrip or on the reel seat and just flip that bottom end of the rod, that's going to allow that bait to fly out there if the rod tip's loaded up and get a pounder out there distance for you without the work. Big rubber, we're throwing it and it's getting the job done. I'm out with my bro Tim Ives. He's a guide at the Musky Shop, putting us on some good fish, man. We didn't have a lot of time to fish today. We didn't, you know, it wasn't an early start. We had a narrow window, but you made the call. Let's get on some clear water with a big wind. And it was blowing heavy duty. We'll show you, the boat control was crazy. It's calmed down now, so we could actually get the camera out. But we got it on this big water, and you go, what do you do when it's choppy? And Tim was like, you got to go big rubber.
Big rubber.
You know, the blades are riding high. You're not going to throw a sand cat. You're not going to throw a jerk bait. You've got to cut through that big water and big waves, and big rubber is going to get it done. I'll tell you, the trick to working big rubber is having the right setup. You got to have, we're throwing the Musky Shop shield rod. You're throwing heavy. Right? I'm throwing extra heavy. Tim,
I'm throwing
heavy. So any of those is going to get it done. You don't want to try to do this on a medium. You don't want to try to do this on a rod with a really whippy tip. You got to have the right setup. 80-pound braid. Jim really prefers, we got the Musky Shop leaders on this. This is the 18-inch fluorocarbon leader. what I like about the fluorocarbon, you were saying earlier, it really gives the bait some kick, doesn't it?
Yep.
You
This
know?
is almost like a glide bait with that leader. It just kind of walks under there versus if you had a different, heavier leader, it wouldn't get that good action.
Right, and we're looking for the triggering mechanism a lot of time with big rubber is not the pull, it's the pulse. Right, and that's the thing. Rip it, and that fluorocarbon leader's going to let that bait sort of turn. They're going to hit on the pulse. You called it. You called the shot earlier. You said, we're going to come over to this point. There's a trench there. Put a cast in there. You guys just saw me put that thing in the net. He said, when you hit that trench, give it a big pulse. Boom, musky in the net.
Yep.
Tim getting it done, folks. Big rubber is where it's at in big wave action. Like and subscribe, my dudes. Downsizing in bad conditions gonna put a fish like this in crazy.